Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to Season 4 of our Subscribers Game Tournament as we continue here in Round 2. And in our third match, we have Sterling Inquisitor, who is our 3rd seeded player in the green, versus Peanuts, who's our 14th seeded player in the red. And looking at the composition here, Sterling Inquisitor is bringing an army led by Lu Bu, Jia Xu, and Yan Yu. Now, it's a very interesting army, as there's lots of range options. We have a horse archer on Lu Bu, which no doubt is going to act as the scout for this map. And then we have a crossbow and an archer militia on Jia Xu. And finally, we have 6 hybrid unit on Yan Yu, which all have a bow option. We have 5 Azure Dragons, which will have poison arrow because they're on Yan Yu. And finally, the white tiger unit, which also will have poison arrow, but it's predominantly a range unit with the spear hybrid secondary. Whereas for the Azure Dragons, they are primarily a glaive infantry. Very premium unit. And in this particular setup, with Yan Yu being an excellent general in a heavily forested map, I think this is a great choice. Then on Lu Bu, we have 4 Xiliang Cav and 1 of the cheaper Raider Cavs to round out the comp. Then looking at Peanut's side, we have an army led by Cao Cao, Huang, and Huang. So we see some similarities, as there is a horse archer, this one being a northern variety, that will act as a scout, rank 4, pretty expensive unit compared to the horse archer on Lu Bu. Then we have a standard archer for more fire arrows, and then 5 of the Qingzhou infantry, plus 3 of the melee infantry from the northern units. And finally, on Huang, we have a splash of cavalry with the 4 Raider Cav. And finally, we have 2 unique units from Sun Ce's roster, the Handmaid Guard and the Tiger Guard, both having their guard passive. Now, they won't stack, but depending on where the generals are, the Handmaid Guard can follow, and maybe the Tiger Guard can provide some defense in case the generals are fighting close to the other unit, essentially 25% damage resistance. For general abilities, we have a couple powerful abilities. First on Huang with the Flame of the Phoenix, which will get shorter cooldowns thanks to Cao Cao, and of course Huang with the Firebomb, which will be interesting to see how it will be used on this map, because there are trees that might get in the way, but if it does hit, the fire spread should be quite good. So looking forward to seeing some good firebomb combos. And looking at the matchup here, I do worry about one thing for Peanut's side, in that he picked a lot of units that have low morale. So those 5 Qingzhou unit have low morale by design, so that they can activate Misplaced Devotion. And then the Raider Cav have low morale as well. Now, the issue here is that while on an open field map, these weaknesses are usually fine. Here on a heavily forested map, with lots of arrow options on both sides, we'll see a lot of fire in this matchup. And when there's fire, there's a huge morale debuff for units around those fire, and it's likely to activate Misplaced Devotion early and drop the morale of the Raider Cav to a level where it might make them a lot less effective. Compare those to Sterling Inquisitor, most of his unit are actually quite premium, and they should have more morale in this showdown. So we'll see how this one plays out on the battlefield. Now, as we load into game here, we can see that Sterling Inquisitor has actually taken a very forward Vanguard deployment with his entire army, and they're basically face to face with each other. Now, there's still a lot of trees, so a lot of units will be invisible for the most part. They're hidden well. But if we just look at deployment, I mean, it is densely packed, but if we zoom in here with the foliage off, we can see the Azure Dragons in the front. They have access to Poison Arrow and Fire Arrow. And then we have the rest of the range unit in the crossbow and the White Tiger Raider in the back for support. And the generals are packed together with the units. And if we look to the side, there is an archer militia just thrown off to the side for some reason. Maybe as a scout, maybe as someone can come in. Well, there is an interesting usage here, because this slope, actually I believe this is gentle enough that he can actually walk up, but it'd be interesting if this is not accessible, he had to loop around, then he actually gets to shoot at the ridge for free. But this all relies on the fact that he's guessing the enemy is deploying normal, because what if they Vanguard deploy, or what if they deploy to the side? Then this archer is just kind of thrown away. So there are some risks to this deployment. But overall pretty interesting. The Scout Cavalry plus a support Peasant Raider in the back, and then the Xiliang Cav way in the back as reserve units. For Peanuts, we have the infantry in the front, 1 archer to light up the trees, pretty standard setup. The 2 guard unit is sticking with the general, We have the Tiger's Guard right here. The Handmaid Guard is out somewhere. I think it's right under Huang, which is why it's kind of hard to see right there. So the 2 guard passive are right next with the generals. 2 different speed, so I'm guessing the Tiger Guard is going to stick with the unit in case the general fights over here. If they go aggressive, then the Handmaid Guard goes with them. We got the Raider Cav in the back and 2 of the Qingzhou unit way in the back as well. I think this might be too far away. We have the Scout Northern Mounted Archer, pretty premium unit for a Scout, but of course not bad. They also have access to Fire Arrow. So we'll see how the scouting works and see how the engage works here on both sides. Even though they're close, they're still pretty much invisible to one another. We got the cavalry moving up. I'm expecting these 2 units to move first. You can see this patch, you can see the pathing to kind of dictate which part of the slope is a little bit too steep. They're not going to charge into each other, I doubt it. They will shoot fire arrows at one another though. Oh, he's below the ridge, he's above the ridge. He's lighting it up. There's some units that are visible. We got the poison arrows coming out. We got the fire arrows coming out. I want to see if that really impacts the morale for these Qingzhou units. Poison shot, flaming shot. The generals are engaging. Huang guy's probably looking for a really good... Oh, he bumped into it. Yeah, you can't see them until you bump into them. So now they have to pull back. Jiaxu is also bringing in Stifling Deluge, which shuts down active abilities. He's used... Oh, they got the Mending going on. They got the Hidden Blade going on. They did run into Qingzhou units. We'll see if anyone gets dismounted. But so far, it looks like a pretty easy engage. Liu Bu has used his Dragon's Gaze a little bit early. He didn't catch all the units. But now it looks like they're pulling out. No one got dismounted, fortunately. And you can see, yeah, the damage ready popped the Misplaced Devotions before they engaged. We got a firebomb usage. Looks like it missed. Oh, no, it just landed. Burning away, burning away. Ooh, that was good. And it also kind of impacted the unit next to it, so it got double value here because they were close. He tossed it from pretty far. We saw the icon for the aim, but we didn't catch it. So 2 units got wiped with a very good firebomb. Now hoping for the cooldown to come back. We got the C-down Cavs joining in the fight. They're popping the weaker enemy cavalry. Generals responding, infantry's responding. I mean, you can see the fire affecting both sides here. There's more range options on this side. They got 1 unit to engage, but I think the Azure Dragons can beat the Qingzhou unit no problem. They're trying to create an angle here. People stuck fighting some of the cavalry. I was like, why is he not joining? Looks like a dismount. Ooh, great damage. Yan Yu is going down. Yan Yu is going down. They got the Mending in time, but might not be enough if they stay mounted. There's just not enough attack speed there. Yan Yu finally dismounted. Liu Bu dismounted. Jiaxu did not dismount. Can the Mending difference pull through? Does also have a unyielding earth for everyone? Wow, can't believe Yan Yu stabilized this fight. Liu Bu is still getting punched in the face by 2 generals. It's still 2v3. Yan Yu is gone. Ooh, Liu Bu is gone, but Huang took a lot of damage. Jiaxu came back. Can Jiaxu hunt them on the horse? Huge win. The Zord Dragon coming over. They beat the Qingzhou unit, not surprised. So stay on the horse, dragging them over. Second firebomb incoming. Yeah, the tree's gonna block some, but it did hit. It also spread to friendly fire. Yeah, both of them are dead. Really good firebomb abilities. I mean, the ability is really good. But yeah, that one kind of neutralized the effect a little bit. Jiaxu's running away. So for Peanuts, it's keeping Huang alive somehow so he can do more of the ability. Ooh, they got a good one. But the charge damage, we'll see. I think Jiaxu is definitely going after Huang. Trying to use Hidden Blade, trying to poison him. If he just lands a hit, it would actually kill him. It's not poisoned yet. He's coming, he's coming, he's trying to do it. Got him. Yan Yu bounces back and takes out... Okay, we missed this part, but he basically bounced back and took out Huang amidst a bunch of enemy units. Oh, this is a huge turn. Xu Huang dies, Huang routes, now it's Cao Cao versus 2. Jiaxu's paying dividends. Qingzhou units trading well into a damage Azor. I say Peanut still has the unit edge here. Unless some of the scattered units bounces back. I see some green dots around the map. There's a cavalry unit right here. We have 2 range units on this side of the map, but they're about to get swarmed. So it's Jiaxu versus Cao Cao. Jiaxu's routing. And he got shot by a poison arrow. And he goes down. Those firebombs really did a number. So pretty much went as we expected for the most part in the early goings. I think the fire arrows and poison arrows did a number on the unit's approach. The general battle kind of dictated the outcome for the most part. Having the guard passive up was pretty useful early on as they were able to chunk Yan Yu and Lu Bu. Before the dismount, Yan Yu took way too much damage. I think they dismounted a little bit faster, it would have been better, or maybe pulling out of that fight would have been better. Those are the 2 options. After the dismount, they were able to trade significant damage back on Xu Huang. We can see that both generals who had the smash ability pretty much went even. The burn kills don't count as actually kills, so this number is super underrated. Huang killed a lot more guys with those 2 really good fire bombs. The spread of the firebomb on the units pretty impressive. Basically took out 2 units each time. One time was 1 enemy, 1 friendly, but overall that was still enough to pull out of this fight. And after the general advantage was established, Jiaxu wasn't able to come back against Cao Cao, who is unbreakable, who has more damage with his weapon. I think he has to wait for another round of Hidden Blade to have a shot there, but the rest of the unit were a little bit too weak at that point once the Azor Dragon went down. Losing 3 of them to Firebomb pretty much doomed the match, because this was the core of the units in terms of funding, in terms of, you know, combat capabilities, and they weren't really able to carry. You can see these 2 are the ones who got hit by that initial Firebomb, basically returned no kills and was routed away. I think if they were spread out a bit more, you have to identify that Huang as a threat, and once you do, you have to spread them. But it's very rare to see Firebomb. And this map in particular is very good with so many trees. It did block some of his Firebomb. We saw a couple hit the trees, but the ones that land, the fire spread really, really fast, and the units were doomed from that point on. So congratulations here to Peanuts for taking this one, and we have Sterling Inquisitor going down here. So hope you guys enjoyed it. There's one more match for today, and we'll see you guys then. Bye!